kitchen now with Michelle from Lamer's Dairy. Good to see you, Michelle.
Nice to see you, Amy.
You brought along some treats. Tell us what you brought.
I did. I brought you a bottle of our pumpkin spice eggnog. It's just a special product we have in the fall, and it's only going to be available for a couple more weeks, but it's absolutely delicious. To make French toast, to you can do all kinds of fun things baking or just eating it.
Or
it's,
sipping it by the fire.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh,
it has just the right, it's like, one of a person told me it tasted like a liquid pumpkin pie.
Ooh.
So it's a nice.
And it's a gorgeous color too. So you can get that at Lamer's. Can you get it at grocery stores
You
too
can.
that sell Lamer's
Yes.
milk?
Mm-hmm.
So
it's available at Festival and Woodman's and
what fun!
some
Check it
others.
out. So we are going to be cooking with Lamer's whole milk. We're making a wonderful fall veggie casserole. So if you're starting to maybe think about some great recipes for Thanksgiving, which is going to be here before you know it, or I'd love to just bake some chicken and bake a nice veggie casserole to go with it. This would be perfect. So let's start us out here.
Great. What we're going to do is we're going to melt some butter. We have 2 tablespoons of butter. We want to get that melted and add about half a cup of onions and just soften those a little bit.
Now you went ahead and steamed the vegetables. Cauliflower, which is everywhere right now, broccoli, and carrots.
That's right.
So you don't want them to be mushy though. You just want to almost tender crisps, right?
That's right, because they'll cook a little bit more when in the oven when you bake this. But what you do want to do is, I like to steam, but you can do some of the steam in bag ones. You could do frozen vegetables if you wanted to. So I steamed the broccoli and then I refreshed it in cold water to keep the nice green color.
And it is gorgeous.
And then the cauliflower I steamed, but you don't refresh it.
Okay.
And then the carrots I actually cooked a different method. If we have time, we can talk about that. It is in the recipe online too, how to do that technique.
So cauliflower, carrots, and broccoli, just cooked, but so they're tender crisp, because that is the key with some veggie casseroles. What happens is they grate, but the vegetables turn into absolute mush.
And they lose their color and they look unappetizing.
Exactly. So if you are going to do this and you're going to use frozen, use the steam packed vegetables, maybe not the actual, the frozen ones. Okay, so.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get that softened. When it's softened, you can maybe add a little salt at this point to facilitate that.
Okay.
And then we'll just want to add our flour.
So we're making a homemade cream sauce is what we're doing.
Exactly. And that's, you talk about basics. This is a pretty basic recipe. You could mix whatever vegetables you wanted. You could add a little bit garlic with the onions, whatever you want to do to kind of change it up a little bit. So it's kind of like a basic master recipe, and then you can mix it up. So
starting to smell good.
Oh, isn't it? The onions. I baked some this morning. It was delicious. So we're going to add a cup of our whole Lamer's Dairy award-winning milk from Local Family Farms. So a cup of our whole milk. I like to use the whole when I'm cooking because it just has a little more body to it than some of the lower fat versions. And surprisingly, whole fat is still 96% fat-free. So it's really not a lot of fat, even in whole milk, and it just sometimes gives you a little bit more body.
We love their milk. We love the glass bottles. We love the fact that it's local and family, and not to mention that it's big-time award-winning. So that's kind of the icing on the cake here. So when you're making this cream sauce, we're basically going to, when we heat it, it's going to thicken right away. And then we've got some cream cheese. So
that's right. So when the sauce thickens a little bit, we're going to add the cream cheese.
Okay.
In the meantime, what we could do while that's thickening is we could make our topping that we're going to put on. So what you want to do is add some breadcrumbs, some Parmesan cheese, and a little bit of olive oil.
And we're using the panko, the Japanese breadcrumbs.
That's
love
what I
those.
like. Yeah, they're crunchier. They're a little bit bigger, so they're not quite as small. And I like to use olive oil instead of butter because it has a higher cooking point, so it doesn't really burn.
So it's going to get nice and brown.
That's right.
Okay, I'll have you mix this. I think we're getting a little thicker here, so we're going to add.
Great.
Is this 1 block of cream cheese?
It's 6 ounces, so 3/4 of a block.
Okay.
And this time of year, cream cheese is on sale. I love that.
Oh yeah, because it can get pricey, so stock up on it.
Holidays. And I was comparing notes. Cream cheese compared to cheese, they're about the same in fat and calories. So this just makes a nice, creamy way to get your family to eat their vegetables.
Yum. Okay, so this is looking really good. Sauce is looking really thick and delicious.
Great. Well, then I'll start getting the veggies while you're working on that. So we're basically going to put our veggies in a big bowl so we can toss it in that wonderful sauce that you're making.
Sauce is done. Oven temperature for this when it bakes?
350.
350. And then topping goes on top. About how long does it bake for?
About 30 minutes until it gets a nice golden color. So it kind of depends on your dish. You can use a 9 by 13, or you can use a round, beautiful dish like this.
All right, I'll have you put that together. This looks fantastic. And really, it's all about the veggies and the cream sauce and that topping on top.
And the color is gorgeous.
Oh, Michelle, that looks fantastic. Thank you so much. I can hardly wait to get home and make that. And then so the topping goes right on into the oven. It goes. We'll put the recipe on our website. Always great to see you, and I can't wait to pick up some pumpkin eggnog from Lamers. You need to pick some up this fall. Stay with us. We'll be back.